Hi everyone, my name is Lauren and I'm the founder of Higgy Bears, a nonprofit that helps kids and teens with scoliosis along with their parents. I wanted to take some time today to tell you all about Higgy Bears and the different programs that I have, a little bit about the history of Higgy Bears and why I started it, and then just share with you all the fun things that I have going on for you and your kids. So, what is Higgy Bears? Higgy Bears are special teddy bears for kids and teens with scoliosis. Adults love them too. It started as a business in 2014, and I transitioned to a nonprofit in 2022. So it's turned into, in addition to the bears that I make, I also have support groups that I run and lots of different programs to help. I make bears that have little braces on them for kids that wear braces. And then I also sew a little surgery scar on the back for teens or adults that have had surgery. These are all my different programs that I have currently. It changes day by day. I always tend to add different programs. But I have the Higgy Bears that I make. I have a Higgy shop on my website, which is higgybears.com. And I sell lots of fun scoliosis gifts and accessories. I have lots of jewelry, brace bags for kids, um, Pura Vida bracelets, just a lot of, I'll go through it, but a lot of fun items to just make your journey with scoliosis a little bit more bearable. I do Higgy Zooms for kids and teens, also for parents and adults. I have Higgy Friends, which is fun support groups for kids and teens with scoliosis where you meet local friends that have scoliosis. I have a Higgy Teens Facebook group that I'm just starting. Higgy Con, which is a huge convention that I'm having this summer that I'll talk to you a lot about. A Higgy Walk, which is going to be our fundraiser walk in June that I'd love to get everyone involved in. I do webinars that you'll find on my website with lots of different scoliosis professionals that share their knowledge with us. I have lots of different Higgy resources on my page. I have a donation program where I donate Higgy Bears to kids in different hospitals. And then I have Higgy Bear Ambassadors, which are kids and teens that raise funds to be able to donate bears to kids at their hospital or clinic. So, a little bit about my scoliosis journey. I was diagnosed when I was 13 years old with scoliosis. It was found during a school screening. I came home, told my parents, they took me to the doctor. The doctor took an x ray and said, yeah, she has scoliosis, but she'll grow out of it. He said nothing needed to be done and kind of just sent me on my way. It wouldn't be until later that I learned that my curves were around 35 degrees. So something definitely did need to be done, but just wasn't at the time, which is fine. But we didn't really talk about it after that appointment. I just kind of dealt with it. I had a rib hump on my back that I was really, really self conscious of. Um, I kind of relate it to kids that wear a brace. I never wore a brace, but it was the same thing emotionally for me where I was always trying to hide it and keep people from seeing the rib hump on my back. I wore baggy sweatshirts all the time. I stood in a certain spot in the room. I sat in a certain spot of the room so that people couldn't see the right side of my back. I was just very, very affected by it. I was very depressed as a teen just because I felt alone and didn't know anybody else that had scoliosis. So that's a lot of my, or that is my inspiration for starting Higgy Bears and helping others. So when I turned 18, I went to the doctor and he said my curves were around 50 degrees at that point. He said we could wait a little bit, see if I could get away with not having surgery. But the second I heard that there was something that could fix my back, I was over the moon. I really just wanted to get it done, but he said I needed to wait to see if I could get by without it. When I was 26, I was having so much pain that I decided it was time, and he agreed to do the surgery. This is obviously before my surgery, and then after I'm fused from T2 to L4, which is the majority of my back. Um, my surgery story is a little scary, so I just want to caution you and kids that may be watching that this was 10 years ago. A lot of things were different then, and it's extremely rare to have the complications that I have. So I'm sure everyone watching will be totally fine. But this is a big part of my story and why I started Higgy Bears, so I think it's important to share it with you. So during my first surgery, they had all the screws and rods in, and they lost nerve function. So they were monitoring my nerves to make sure, I could still wiggle my toes and legs, and they lost that function. They tried to wake me up during surgery to see if I could move my legs, and I couldn't. So they had to take all those rods and screws out and wait for me to wake up. Luckily, the paralysis was only temporary. The doctors don't really know what happened, but I was able to wiggle my toes when I woke up. So I went back into surgery 3 days later and had the rods and screws put back in. And I was in the hospital for 11 days. I had kind of a rough go at it. I was older. I was 26 when I had surgery. So you always hear that kids recover a lot faster, and that's definitely true. So I was there for 11 days and I came home. I was super excited to have a straight back and that my rib hump was greatly, greatly reduced. I was pretty much just, I walked and walked and I didn't have pain, and it was just amazing. So, fast forward to 2 months after surgery, I was in a head on car accident. It was very minor, I wasn't going fast, but apparently it was fast enough for a couple of my screws to come loose. So I had I had to have an emergency surgery to have the screws taken out and then put back in. And then after that, I was just in excruciating pain for 2 years. The pain just never seemed to go away. We went to all different types of doctors all over the country, about 8 different doctors, saw a bunch of different physical therapists, and nothing was helping. They just kept saying I needed more surgery to fuse to my pelvis, which I definitely didn't want to do. It wasn't until I found my physical therapist here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, that was able to help me and really got rid of most of my pain, which I'm super thankful to him for. But I was off of work for 2 years because I was in so much pain. So I had a lot of time to think about, my life and what I wanted to do with it. And I really wanted to find a way to help other kids and teens feel less alone like I did growing up. So during that time, I researched ways to help, and I found another nonprofit called Curvy Girls, and they were having a convention in New York. So I went to New York and wanted to be amongst other girls that had scoliosis, even though I was older at the time. But different clinics came, and there was one clinic that made a little mini brace for an American Girl doll and for a Build-A-Bear, and they gave it to a lucky girl that won the brace. So I saw about 200 little eyes just light up when they saw the brace, and everybody wanted one and thought it was the cutest thing. So I kind of realized that maybe this is why I'm here at this convention, to see this brace and see how much it helps kids. Um, so I went back to Michigan and just started coming up with a way to make the braces. And so this is an example of one of the very first, if not the very first, Higgy Bear that I made. I have the transfer patterns now that I use to make the braces, but I didn't at the time. So I very detailedly drew out this pattern as best as I could for this little girl, and she was just so happy with it. And then I make little braces for dolls as well. This is Emma over the years, and she was 8 in the first picture. One of my favorite pictures, and I've stayed in contact with Emma. I just talked to her about a week ago, and she takes pictures for me at different stages in her life with her doll, which I just think is really special. She said it made a huge impact on her childhood, just having a doll that was going through the same thing. So I love seeing pictures of the kids with their Higgy Bears and their doll braces that I make them. So, like I said, it started off as a business. So, for 8 years, I just worked and made Higgy Bears for kids. Here are some examples of all the Higgy Bears that I made. There's Cash in the upper left hand corner. We've got Brooke in the bottom left corner. I've gotten to know all these kids over the years, which is so special to me. Here's some more kids. There's Rylan, and these all these pictures. I love seeing them. So send me your pictures. They're my favorite things. They brighten my day. Here's some more pictures. There's Lulu in the bottom left, Alia, little girl that did a huge fundraiser. I'm drawing a blank on her name, but I know who she is. But she did a huge fundraiser to get Higgy Bears to kids at her hospital, which I'll talk more about too. So over those 8 years, I made a ton of Higgy Bears, and Higgy Bears is just me for the most part. I have a couple teens that help me after school with boxes and things like that, but it's pretty much just me. And I made 25,000 Higgy Bears that have made their way to 150 countries. There's obviously a ton in the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, but they're in South America, all over Africa, um, Europe, everywhere. There's even tiny countries that I've never heard of. There's one called Martinique, which is in the middle of the ocean, I believe, and it's just really cool to see Higgy Bears go to all over the world and all these different countries. So I always get super excited whenever I get a new country. So, like I mentioned, I transitioned to a nonprofit, so I'm a 501(c)(3) now, which means that companies can make donations and sponsor Higgy Bears. And that's really helped me grow my donation program and be able to help a lot of kids. My goal has always been to be able to donate Higgy Bears to kids so that families don't have to pay for them, in hopes of being able to get them to a lot more kids. So that's finally happened, which I'm super excited about, and I'll tell you more about. But these are the Higgy Bears that I make now. They obviously look different than the previous pictures that I showed you. I've simplified a lot of things. Currently, my website is down if you're watching this in January because I'm trying to find ways to speed up the process of making Higgy Bears and um, just find a way with just me to be able to get them to, a lot more kids. So I've simplified. We're just going to go with the bear, the classic Higgy Bear. And the brace is available with the straps in the back, which is shown in this picture, or the straps in the front, which is shown in this picture. And kids will still be able to pick their brace patterns, um, and they can change most of the kids will get a new brace every time, or they'll get a new Higgy Bear or a Higgy Bear brace every time they get a new brace. So it's a fun little thing to look forward to when they get a new brace. So we'll still be able to do that. The idea is that you'll have a Higgy Bear and then you can change the brace as needed. And then I also make surgery bears. Initially, I made them with rods in their backs that I sewed in, but I've switched to just making a scar on the back. Kids seem to like this more, and it just was becoming a little complicated to put the rods and sew them into a teddy bear. So I switched to doing a scar. Um, I have two different types of braces. There's soft braces and hard braces. Soft braces are what I make out of my house in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So they're laminated. I take the transfer paper, print it off, and laminate it, cut it into the different shapes, and then put it on the bear. This is a obviously more affordable option that a lot of people have purchased in the past. This is what mainly people purchase. And then I also have hard braces that just started in the last year or so. They're actually made by a real brace maker in California. She designs them, or she did design them and makes them out of her home. And she started a little business, making them, which is awesome. So I'm the only customer first, but she makes the hard braces for me, and then I get them to kids all over the world. So here's an example of the soft and hard brace. These are previous styles, so the shapes with the holes um, aren't happening anymore. Again, to streamline things and make them more affordable for people. But this is an example that the hard brace is the real brace and stays, together, just sitting. So it's made out of the same hard plastic that your kids' braces are made out of, same transfer paper, everything. It's definitely the real deal. And then the laminated, this is to show that it's a laminated piece of plastic to give it, or laminated with laminating sheets. So it gives it a plastic feel, but it's not a hard brace. So previously, the soft brace Higgy Bears were $40 and the hard brace Higgy Bears were $65. Thanks to a lot of awesome sponsors, which I'll mention throughout this, and a lot of awesome kids that have done fundraisers through the Higgy Walk, which we had last year, which I'll talk about. The soft braces, when I reopen February 1st, are going to be free, which is obviously huge and my dream since I started this. You'll just need to pay shipping. So shipping within the US will be $10 and shipping outside the US will be $20. You can request these currently and get on the wait list. If you go to higgybears.com and click on Higgy donations, you'll see a form you can fill out, and there'll be a PayPal button where you can pay the shipping. The hard braces, I've been able to lower to $40. Again, thanks to sponsors, I don't have to mark that up to cover the cost to run Higgy Bears. So that's just what they cost me to buy. So $40 gets you this awesome brace. I definitely recommend to go this route if you can, but it just depends on your situation. But the hard braces are awesome. The soft braces are awesome too. Kids absolutely love them. But the $40 version I'm really excited about because that's the real deal. So that'll make a big difference. And like I said, you can request the free version on my website. That also goes for the surgery bears. Those are free as well. The only exception that I have to that is my programs are to help kids and teens. So I just ask that if you're over 18, that you purchase a surgery bear instead of buy it so that I can use my resources and efforts to get them to kids. So I'll have that option on my website. But for kids and teens, the surgery bears are free too, with just paying shipping. So in addition to Higgy Bears, I have a Higgy shop. I sell lots of fun items, and all the money raised through the Higgy shop is what is used to pay for the donated Higgy Bears, again, in addition to sponsors. So I have Pura Vida scoliosis bracelets, which are super popular. I designed it through Pura Vida, so they're only available on my website. I design lots of jewelry that I have made that girls really enjoy. Tons of stickers. I probably have 30 plus stickers on my website that you can buy. Kids will put it on their brace or just on their notebooks or phones, but just fun little things like that. I have brace bags. I have three different sizes: the small, medium, and large. The small brace is for young kids. The medium brace is for, older kids and maybe possibly some tweens. And then the large brace bag is for teens or larger kids. Um, it's not a blanket statement. Everybody's body shape is different, so your brace size is going to be different. I have measurements on my website on the listing, so just be sure to measure the brace. Um, yeah, definitely do that because it's not a one size fits all for each of the sizes. But the bear or the brace bags are available in a lot of different colors, and then these do ship free internationally as well as within the U.S. I also just love to design fun new products. So, for example, I have titanium rods in my back. That's what's the most popular, I think, that are used. So I bought a titanium coin and had it embossed with the titanium symbol on it. So this is real titanium that your kids can keep as a memento of their surgery, and it comes with a card that I wrote that just talks about how strong they are. So this is available on my website. I also sell a lot of shirts and clothing, and all of that money, like I said, is used to cover the cost of the Higgy Bears that are donated and just to keep Higgy Bears running. So I could, based off of your X-rays, draw out your curve or your rods and put it on a shirt for you. So here's an example of it on with rods on the sweatshirt. This is my friend Maddie with her Taylor Swift cutout, biggest Swiftie you'll ever meet. But I had this design that says "In my scoliosis era," just as a fun little sweatshirt or T-shirt for kids. I have scoliosis sweatshirts and shirts for moms and dads, just a lot of different things, and that'll be continuing to grow, and I'll be offering more options as time goes on with that. I also make little elf braces around Christmas time. You can request them throughout the year, but these are just to bring a little Christmas cheer and magic for kids that wear braces. And here's an example of a sweet little girl with her elf with their little back brace on it, and then an elf with a little letter that a parent put together. I do have Higgy fundraisers that I do throughout the year. Be sure to follow me on social media. It's just at Higgy Bears and get on my mailing list. That's how you can be part of these different projects that I do. One of the big ones that I do is we have a "We Are Stronger Than Scoliosis" shirt. You can also get it on a sweatshirt, but basically you add your name to the back of the shirt along with other scoliosis warriors all over the world, and you can wear it with pride. Here's an example of an awesome family, dad and daughter both rocking the shirt, And then here's Sweet Addison with her sweatshirt. This is a newer design. I switch up the designs. So the money raised from these fundraisers, again, are to run Higgy Bears. One of the most popular programs that I have is Higgy Ambassadors. So what this is, it initially started with a teen several years ago that had the idea to raise money to be able to buy the Higgy Bears and give them to a bunch of kids at her clinic. And it's really taken off. A lot of kids and teens do this. It originally started where the cost of the bears were $30 or $40, but kids would raise $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 to get a ton of bears. But with being able to offer them at a lower price, the bears are $10 now. So these fundraisers are going to be huge. I know that I offer them for free through my website, but as you probably know, nothing is really free and everything costs money. And I have limited resources. So they're $10 for the kids raising funds so they can pay for the cost of the bears so we can get them to more kids. So here's an example of a huge fundraiser, tons of Higgy animals. This little girl or teenager had so much fun doing this and made such a difference. Here's some more pictures of kids and teens that have done this. Here's another huge one. Sweet little kid that raised money to get some Higgies to kids at his clinic. So here's how you do it. So you set up a GoFundMe, sharing your scoliosis story, and just share it with your friends, family, supporters, just anyone and everyone to raise money. You can also collect money through Venmo or PayPal, any way that you want to raise funds. You can select through GoFundMe that the funds go directly to Higgy Bears so people can see that it's a verified charity, and then you don't have to worry about any tax implications of getting a bunch of money and have to pay tax on it. So I recommend to do it that way, but you can also just collect money and buy them from me. You just email me to do it, Lauren@higgybears.com. And again, the price of those dropped from around $35 to now they're $10. And that's for the soft brace bears or the surgery bears. The hard braces you can still do with that, but it would be the $40. So here's an example. So you raise the money, and then I send you a bunch of bears, and the sweet little girl took a picture with all of them. And then most kids want to take pictures, a picture they can share with all the bears that they took. So that's definitely important. I include bags for them to go in so they can just go directly to the clinic. And here's Maya with Dr. Vitale at Columbia Orthopedics. She donated over 100 bears multiple times, I believe. So she made a big difference. But it's really fun for the kids to be able to, get 3 huge boxes of bears in the mail. It's so exciting for them. And then it's such a fun project and fun experience, really, to be able to bring the bears into the clinic and give them to the doctors and orthotists. Sometimes they even give them directly to patients if they see them in the waiting room or something like that. So it really just adds a little bit of fun to scoliosis, and it is a way for kids to volunteer and give back to other kids. And I think that's really important. I think it helps their self-esteem and just everything about their scoliosis journey in general to be able to give back and help other kids. So if you're interested in that, definitely email me. I also have Higgy Zooms, which started in the last couple years. I absolutely love these because I get to, through Zoom, talk to your kids, get to know them. I've truly enjoyed this more than I can put into words to be able to talk with your kids and help them. So I have lots of different groups. I have a kids group, mini kids, tweens, teens, parents, and then my friend April runs a group for adults that have scoliosis as well. I mainly stick to helping kids, but she volunteered to do that, so I think that's wonderful. That group meets a Saturday once every month. I believe it's the second Saturday of every month. Here's a picture of Sweet Hadley on a Zoom call with me. Her mom says, "I can't believe to tell you what this Higgy Zoom meant to Hadley and to me. Thank you so, so much for all that you do to help make these sweet Scully kids feel less alone." I love Hadley. I've really gotten to know her. She's a really sweet girl, so this picture means a lot to me. The Higgy Kids group, here's an example. I always ask permission before taking pictures in the Zoom, of course, but we're really silly in this group. just were really goofy. One of the kids is even upside down on her screen. We talk a little bit about scoliosis, just in the sense of what patterns the kids have on their braces. Some kids will want to show their brace to the other kids. Um, and some kids don't want to talk or show their brace, and that's fine. They can just kind of sit back and listen. But we just do silly little things, play little games. I'm usually really goofy and just get the kids laughing. It's a really light and not serious group. And most of the time, it originally started as half the time, but the kids really like it. We play online games together through Blicket. It's a website that a lot of kids have used at school or during COVID. A lot of them are familiar with it from using it then. But I have different scoliosis trivia questions basically, and they play little games together. And I usually give away some type of prize during the Zoom to kind of keep the kids engaged and wanting to come back. And then because of the nature of the Higgy Kids group that we play games a lot online, some parents were telling me that their kids were just a little bit too young to be able to play the games and have fun with it. You know, they were still learning to read and things like that. So I created the mini Higgy Kids group. So this group is every other Saturday at 4 o'clock. So it'll be today if anybody is watching. But I give them coloring sheets that the parents can print out. We color together. Kids will show their brace, talk about the different patterns. This is just a super fun, just group for kids any age, up until probably like 10 years old, but anyone that just wants to join, and we don't play the online games in this group. The Higgy Tweens group meets every other Friday, so the Zooms are every other week. So I have Zoom week, and then I have a week off, and then I do Zooms. So you can see the schedule at higgybears.com by clicking on Higgy Zooms. The Higgy Tweens group is super fun too. It's half support group, so we talk, share stories, offer advice and tips such as how to talk to friends about it, tips at school, how to make things easier with wearing a brace or going into surgery or recovering from surgery. It's just a fun group of kids. We play games half the time and then talk half the time. And that's Friday nights at 7. So here's an example of one of the groups playing through Blicket. This is a screenshot that I took. The Higgy Teens group started off just Wednesday nights. Most of the kids there, if not all, have had surgery or were going to have surgery, so I thought it would be good if I started a bracing group. So this group meets Thursdays at 7. We just talk about bracing. Sometimes we play games, but this is just for kids and teens that brace. You don't have to be a teen necessarily, but just be willing to listen to people talk about scoliosis and bracing, maybe offer tips. In any of these groups, you don't have to talk. I do ask that cameras are on just for safety reasons. I do speak with each kid or teen before the meeting starts on camera so I can verify that everyone is who they say they are, that they are a kid or teen, and that no one tries to get into the Zoom that shouldn't be there. So any of the kids' Zooms, they need to be there 15 minutes early, so it lets me talk to each kid on camera individually. Then I put them back in the waiting room, talk to the next kid. So if you come late to the meeting, I'm not able to do that. So more than likely you won't be let in unless I know who you are. But this is just for the safety of all the kids in the group. I do take that very seriously. And then this is the Wednesday night surgery group. So a lot of these teens I've become really good friends with. I just love talking with them, but they talk about surgery, and more than a support group, it's just they've all become friends. We don't talk about scoliosis 100% of the time. We just talk about their life and what they're going through and have fun together. So it's a really good time. And then the Higgy Adults group is once a month, second Saturday of every month at noon, run by my friend April. She's a fierce advocate for scoliosis adults and for kids, but she's a great person. She's very knowledgeable and loves helping people. So feel free to email me for that link as well. So all of the Zooms, again, Monday night is kids, which they're not age specific. It's just kind of what your kid wants to do. So Monday night is basically kids game night. Tuesday night is for parents, which I didn't mention. But I have a parents group that's really great because parents need support too. I know it's hard on you. Jamie and Eric from Green Sun Medical often join. Eric is an orthotist, so he's a bracing expert, and then Jamie has a lot of knowledge about surgery. So they come and just volunteer to help kids and kind of lead the discussion on medical things. So this is a great way to meet other parents and ask questions. Um, so I definitely recommend you join. That's Tuesday nights. Wednesday nights is the teen surgery group. Tweens are welcome too if they're, in that surgery situation, but I don't recommend that kids that are bracing join that group just because of the nature of it. Talking about surgery, it's just a sensitive topic, so I don't think it's helpful for kids that are bracing to have to learn about that. Some of the kids have complications and that type of thing. So that's why I created the bracing group, which is Thursday night. Friday night is Higgy Tweens, and then which is half support, half games. And then Saturday is mini kids, and then sometimes Higgy adults. With each of the groups, or with the tweens and teens group, I have an online chat group through the app called GroupMe. Some of the kids just started it themselves, and it's a way to communicate. It's only kids that join the Zooms that I personally know that are part of this chat group. So it's not open to everyone, but kids that join the Zooms can join that. So it's a great way to support each other outside of Higgy Bear or outside of Higgy Zooms and just become friends and get to know each other. I recently started a Higgy Teens Facebook group. This is just for teens 13 to 18 years old. If you're 19, I'll let you in. That's not a problem. But, mainly that age group. And this is just a way to open it up to all teens that have scoliosis. You don't have to be part of the Zooms. There's a lot of teens that obviously don't want to be on camera, don't want to have to interact that way, and that's totally fine. I would have been the same way when I was their age. So to just be able to post your question, ask for support through Facebook. I was going to do this through my website as a forum, but there wasn't enough security associated with it. So I personally talk to every single person that's in the group, make sure they have scoliosis, not let any scammers in, anything like that. I monitor each and every post and comment. I'm watching this like a hawk. So, but you have to be a teen with scoliosis. You can't be under 13 to be on Facebook. So your teens are welcome to join. So I do different Higgy projects throughout the year. Just fun little things that I do to kind of keep the Higgy community together. I have Higgy Mail, so you can order this through my website. I basically just send a sweet little note to maybe a friend that you met that has scoliosis, or a parent can send it to a kid, encouraging words. So you can order that through my site when it's back up. Santa Claus actually reached out. You're a big deal when Santa Claus is asking you for help. He asked me to head up the North Pole Scoliosis Department this past Christmas. So my job was to get letters from him and give them to kids with scoliosis. So he would write the letters, sign them, scan them in, send them to me. He gave me special Santa paper that I printed them out on and then sent them to kids. So the kids I added to the NPSDD with the North, which is the North Pole Scoliosis Department database. Very serious stuff. Here's an example of the letters, and then they get a certificate of hard work and bravery with it, just talking about their scoliosis journey, um, and just kind of tell them they're doing a great job and encourage them. Here's another example of the letters. This is with the Santa paper. It's very official. You can't get it anywhere else. It's only from the North Pole. I did about 500 letters this past Christmas, so I think this program will just continue to grow. Here's some pictures with some kids with their letters from Santa and their certificate of hard work. This is Willow on the right. She's a sweetheart. Higgy parties. So the Zooms are a blast, but Higgy parties are even more fun. I usually do them twice a year. We did a green costume contest where everybody just got decked out in green, and I gave away prizes to best decorations, best dress, that type of thing. Probably about 100 kids and families came. It was just a really good time. These are just a few pictures, but kids took this very seriously and just got a ton of green, which was really fun. And we just played games, and it was just a really fun time. So here's an example of best decorations and then best dressed. And best dressed pet we did. Here's another best decorations. This was Francesca. Best outfit. This is these two pictures are from the holiday party that we had. So in addition to wearing green, they could wear like a Santa hat or whatever holiday they celebrated. They were welcome to do that. Here's best hair. So as you can see, kids even literally dye their hair for this. They go all out. They take this very seriously. I give away big prizes. So like the winners got like 10 Higgy Bears. Runner up got 5. I mean, I gave away a ton of stuff and gift cards and things like that. We did best makeup, which was super fun. These two both won. I couldn't pick a winner, so I had to pick them both because they were both so awesome. Higgy Friends is another program that I have, and it's a way to meet kids and teens in your community that have scoliosis face to face. I don't necessarily want to call it a support group because it's not, sit in a circle and talk about your feelings. It's just a fun group in a way for your kids to get together and see that there's other kids going through the same thing. I just let them be kids and just encourage parents to take the kids to go bowling or go get ice cream. Some kids went like indoor rock climbing. Obviously, that depends on what the kids can do, but Chuck E. Cheese, just fun little outings for kids. Just that let them connect. And if they want to talk about scoliosis and have questions, that's totally fine, of course, but it's mainly just to let them know that they're not alone. So I have about 50 groups throughout the US. I have a designated website for this. It's higgyfriends.com. You can also go to higgybears.com and see it there. The groups are just getting started. So the red markers that you see are for groups that are started and official, and you can meet up. The blue groups are where parents have expressed interest but haven't completely set up the group yet. I am relying on parents to set these up. They are run by the parents, not by the kids. So there's not much work involved, but it's just a great way to put out there that you're interested in meeting kids or other families in your area. I give you a flyer that you just print out and bring to your doctor's office. And then it's just a matter of fielding a couple emails, once a month or so to talk to different parents and then just plan a meetup space where they can get together and hang out. You don't have to pay for anything except for the cost of printing the flyers. And then you don't have to pay for, like, if they go bowling, all the parents pay for themselves and their own kids, of course. Parents do need to be present, all of the parents. So it's as much for the parents as it is for the kids. So while the kids are at Chuck E. Cheese playing games, the parents can sit and talk about their journeys and talk about ways to help each other. So I'm really counting on the Higgy community to set up these groups. So just let me know if you're interested. You can email me at lauren@higgybears.com or lauren@higgyfriends.com. Either is fine. But this is just a great way. This will help your kids for you to set this up, to take the time to do this, because it'll let doctors know that there is a group that can come together, and it just kind of brings out the different kids out of the clinics and then into a fun group. So here are some examples of the Higgy Friends groups. As you can see, it's for kids and teens. These girls on the right went bowling. They went to a park. They went to an arcade in this picture. There's Willow and Erica and Brielle and Jessica, her mom. Another group that went to Chuck E. Cheese. So I definitely recommend to get your kids involved. There's other support groups like Curvy Girls, which I also highly recommend. They're wonderful, but it's just open to girls. Higgy Friends is open to everyone. So boys, girls, all genders are welcome. It's not for adults, that's the only thing, but it's for any kid that has scoliosis. So once I started Higgy Zooms, I realized that I wanted to have a convention, because why not? So I started Higgy Con. So last summer was the first Higgy Con convention, and it was an absolute blast. Parents and kids had an amazing time. It was 3 days of just fun, love, and support in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where I live. And we had, it's just as much for the parents as it is for the kids. So for the parents, there were nonstop speeches and presentations by scoliosis professionals all over the country. We had support groups for the parents where they got to share their stories with other parents and get to know them. Just lots of different activities. So I'm going to focus even more on the support group and getting to know other parents this coming summer. We had awesome presenters. I'm just blown away by the doctors and therapists and everybody that came that wanted to be part of this. They truly are the best of the best. Dr. Amir Samdani is the chief of surgery at Shriners Hospital in Philadelphia. He came and talked to parents and answered questions. Marissa Muccio, who's a Schroth physical therapist at Scoliosis Specialty Center, came. She helped run it. She presented as well. I had Dr. Zabraki from Shriners Chicago, who's a child psychologist, come and talk about the psychological effects and emotional effects scoliosis has on your kids. That was a super awesome presentation. Jamie Haggard from Green Sun Medical, which is a bracing company. I had Jonathan Taylor from Spinal Technology come. These are all different people that support Higgy Bears, and their companies sponsor Higgy Bears as well. But just lots of awesome presenters. Megan Castile, Glenn Castile, excuse me, from Scolios Us. She came and presented about her organization, which I think is just wonderful, and I'm a huge supporter of. So I'll talk more about that as well. Um, but yeah, tons of different professionals. So just to reiterate, this is just as much for parents as it is for kids because that question comes up a lot. So here's a so much fun. There's Anne Marie. So it was just a really good time. Um, here's all the kids that went to Higgy Con. So that was fun just to get that picture. Here's all the parents and the kids together. There were about 150 people last summer, and there's room for 500 people, and I completely expect it to sell out this coming summer. It'll be in Rosemont, Illinois, which is just outside of Chicago. It's 5 minutes from Chicago O'Hare Airport, which is an international airport and very easy to get to. There's a lot of direct flights there to make it easier for families to get to than Kalamazoo, which is kind of a little bit more remote than Chicago. So here's a picture of some of the kids and teens that were there. Caroline on the left, then Izzy, then Ashlyn, Chloe, Alia, Viet in the back, and Francesca. And then this little boy's name I'm drawing a blank on, but they all became just best friends. The teens pictured, they will all be help running different workshops and things like that. So you'll see them a lot at Higgy Con. They offered to help, so that's why I mentioned them by name. So they all made tons of new scoliosis friends. These girls took really cute pictures that I think are really special, just kind of documenting their time at Higgy Con. These two girls had the same brace, same patterns, so I had them take this little goofy picture, just like, oh my gosh. So you can meet kids that wear braces or have surgery, or maybe are just doing exercises and don't wear a brace yet. We had a green fashion show. Technically, it was a green costume contest this last summer, but I'm changing it to a fashion show to make it less competitive. Just as far as kids, I don't want them to be disappointed if they didn't win. So we're just going to show off our green outfits in the fashion show. Kids get really into that. It's a lot of fun. I gave away tons of prizes. I have Higgy Bucks that I give to kids, and they can pick out stickers for free and keychains and just lots of fun stuff. I do lots of empowering workshops to help your child or teen through their scoliosis journey. So here's Ashlyn and Vian that became great friends. We're going to focus a lot more on workshops and support groups and getting to know teens and things like that this year than we did last year. We did some of it, but definitely it's probably gonna be 50% support, getting to know each other, and then 50% games, crafts, things like that. Just a lot of fun. We had these inflatable green inner tubes that I just thought would be a blast, and they were. Kids just love being in them. It's open to girls and boys and all genders. Here are a couple of the guys that came. They had a great time. You get to do a Higgy Bear workshop where you get to make your own Higgy Bear brace. Each of the kids gets a Higgy Bear at Higgy Con, of course. But I have markers and everything where kids can make the braces and then just decorate their braces for their Higgy Bear. Here's an example of kids doing that. It's fun for the entire family, of course. We did face painting and stuff like that, so this is just a goofy picture. Here's Patricia and her son Elijah that came. And so just a reminder, so it's this July, it's the 27th through the 29th in Rosemont, Illinois. It's $200 per person. So not just for the child, but it's 200 for the parent, 200 for the child. This is just to cover, everything. It just costs a lot of money to do conventions. So yeah, that's the price. I have a discounted rate at a hotel. It'll be at the Hilton Chicago or Hilton Rosemont Chicago O'Hare Airport. The rooms are $150 per night. So, and the convention will take place at the hotel. Here's a couple of the doctors that I mentioned, or physical therapists, Marissa Muccio, and this is Dr. Samdani that came. Just wonderful presentations for parents. And then Marissa ran a support group for the parents too, and they'll both be back this summer. In addition to Dr. Samdani and Marissa, here's Megan Glon Castile from Scoliosis, Jonathan Taylor from Spinal Technology, Dr. Kathy Zabraki, she's a psychologist at Shriners in Chicago, Dr. Adrian Lau, he's a physical therapist and pain scientist. His presentation was awesome. You think the topic of pain would not be fun, but he made it fun. He's absolutely hilarious. So this taught kids about their pain. It's kind of like the neurological side of pain, which was really interesting. Christian Christensen is an orthotist at National Scoliosis Center, and then Dr. Andromeda Stevens is a physical therapist or a Shaw therapist in California. And there were other presenters as well. So again, Higgy Con is for parents and kids. You'll be in separate rooms sometimes, or the majority of the time, but we come together for different activities. I have a Higgy Con extravaganza, which is just fun games that parents and kids all play together. Um, but yeah, there'll be a ballroom for the parents to be in and then a ballroom for the kids to be in. So they'll be separate, but parents are welcome to come into the kids' room. Kids can go into the parents' room. Like nothing is restricted. So your kids will feel comfortable kind of knowing where the parents are. So for kids, again, we have crafts, games. They get to make new friends, support each other. I have a teen panel with the girls that I mentioned earlier: Caroline, Izzy, Chloe, Ashlyn, um, Francesca, and they share their stories and answer questions from other kids or teens that might not have as much experience with scoliosis. But these girls are really great, and I know them personally. They'll be very helpful. They were very helpful at last year's convention. And then for parents, we have presentations, support groups, parent panels, get to meet other parents. This is just a great opportunity for parents. We had a lot of presentations last year that were 30 minutes to an hour. We're going to shorten those up for this coming summer. I got a lot of feedback on that. And we're going to focus more on the emotional side of scoliosis. We did that a little bit last year, but instead of a lot of detailed medical information, I want presenters to talk about the emotional side of it and how you can help your kids through that. We have scoliosis influencers that come. Here's Meredith Martin. She's a bionic ballerina. She is obviously a ballerina. She had scoliosis spinal fusion. She's a model. She walks on stilts, which is really cool. But she's a big scoliosis influencer and does a lot to help. So she's a big part of Higgy Con and comes and hangs out with the kids. She created a dance with the teens and shares her scoliosis story. Kyra Condi is an Olympic rock climber. She was the very first Olympian with a long spinal fusion to compete in the Olympics. She's awesome. She shares her story too and hangs out with the kids and parents and just kind of is there to support others and just, let others know that they're not alone. These two girls are awesome. Izzy on the left and Alia on the right. They're both big scoliosis influencers on Instagram. They have big accounts and a lot of kids and teens know them. Scoliosis Warrior 2019 is Izzy and Scoliosis Brave Sister is Alia. They both are going to be helping run Higgy Con, so your kids will really enjoy getting to know them, and they're just awesome girls in general. They're really great people, so I'm glad to have them come. We also have a kids' night and teens' night that are really fun. Kids' night parents can come to. Teens' night is just for the teens. We play music, play games, dance if they want to, just have a really fun time that doesn't involve like support and things like that. Just a fun time for them to get together. And this will be usually at 6 to 8 at night, either Saturday night or Sunday night for each of the groups. So here's what we did at kids' night. We did face painting, which was super fun. They loved the inner tubes, which will definitely come back this summer. Here's a video of even the dad at kids night playing with inner tubes, and we had cornhole, giant Jenga that my husband made and painted, balloons everywhere. There's Davis, our photographer, with these giant balloons were a big hit. Just a really fun time. So here's the balloons again. The balloons absolutely have to come back. They were giant, and the kids love them. Here's Erica and her daughter Willow playing giant Jenga. Here's Meredith with the teens doing a little dance routine. Then we also do a photo shoot with your new Higgy friends if you want to. You don't have to do it, but a really kind man named Davis reached out. He followed Higgy Bears and just loved what I did and wanted to be the photographer for Higgy Con. So he came and he truly became part of the Higgy family, and he does the photo shoots and documents all the memories for your kids. Here's just a few examples of all the girls getting together and the boys. I had fun little props and things like that. Here's all the kids just taking pictures. Here's a great fashion show that we'll do. Like I said, the kids get really decked out. Very steep competition. So it's not just a matter of putting your wristband on. I also have lots of things for kids that I bring, like green tutus, and green hair extensions and things like that. But I encourage this summer for everybody to bring their own too. So here's all the kids that participated in the contest. Here's Francesca, just to show that they really do go all out. She bought these shoes the night before, just white shoes, and painted them just for this event. So they take this very seriously. Here's the teen support group with the girls that I mentioned again. This is them talking to the other kids and teens in the room. We had a lot of great companies come, and they had tables where they could talk directly with parents and kids. This is Janessa and Dr. Andromeda Stevens. We had Shriners come, Green Sun Medical, Spinal Technology, just lots of great places. HiggyCon Extravaganza. This is right at the beginning of HiggyCon, and I'm going to try to mix it in throughout. But the parents and kids come together to kind of create a fun atmosphere and loosen everybody up. We play lots of games, give away a ton of prizes. I bought green streamers, and everybody had to race to wrap each other up in green streamers. It was really fun. I give away Higgy Bucks where they can turn those in for prizes. This year, a lot of people requested I bring the Higgy shop, so I'm going to try my best to do that, to have clothes there for you, jewelry you can buy, Higgy Bears, just brace bags, all the fun stuff that I have. So why come to HiggyCon? It's a blast. It's really fun, but I'm going to let the kids tell you themselves why you should bring your kids.
You should definitely come to Higgy Con because it's like super fun, and like one time I even like forgot I had like scoliosis because I was having like so much fun.
I love Higgy Con because I got to meet so many people, including my online friends.
You should definitely come to Higgy Con because it's a great way to meet people with scoliosis and fusions, and there's a lot of fun activities and a lot of free stuff. So.
Yes, so much fun. Literally a blast of my summer vacation.
I had fun at Higgy Con because I got to meet all my new friends. Yeah, to meet so many friends. Lots of new connections.
We're all besties now.
So there you go. It's such a special experience. So, and parents had just as much fun. So that's HiggyCon. Tickets are open now to buy. Again, they're $200 per person, and they're available on my website, higgybears.com, and click on HiggyCon, or you can also go to higgycon.com. About 25% of them are already sold out 7 months, or really they've been sold out for a year. They've been sold for a year. So definitely try to get your tickets as soon as you can. There's only room for 500 people. So once it sells out, we'll have a wait list, but there's not a certain cutoff date. It'll probably be sometime in May or until it sells out. So the Higgy Walk we did last fall in November, and it's a scoliosis awareness walk that kids can do throughout the country. Adults are welcome to do it too, but I'll share more about this as this comes up. This will be in June, starting in May, and then the walk will be in June. This is the biggest Higgy Bears fundraiser. This is what pays for everything. So I really want everybody to be involved if they can. Basically, you just start a team and encourage others to walk with you, your friends, your grandparents, your parents, your siblings, school supporters, teachers, everybody is welcome. Everybody pitches in to pay for the walk, and then the kids compete against each other with the other kids that have teams to raise money. So the kids raised $16,000 last year. That's what made the free Higgy Bears this year possible. So I thank them a lot for that. And I gave away just a ton of prizes. They raised $16,000 and I gave away $4,000 worth of prizes. So a huge part of the budget is to reward your kids. It's not just for huge amounts, but at $100 they get tons of stickers. At $250 they get things. $500 I have all these different levels. I'll talk more about the prizes that the kids got. I just really made them big to really encourage kids to do it. So again, we're going to do this in May, and then the walk will be in June. So I hope to be able to donate 10,000 Higgy Bears this year, and I need yours and your kids' help to do that through the Higgy Walk because I am just one person, and I can only get so many sponsors and raise so much money myself. So let's all do this together and just help a ton of kids. So this is kind of what the walk will be like. This is just a generic picture, but just to kind of do a walk in your area. There'll be a walk, for example, in Philadelphia, a walk in California somewhere, a walk in Kalamazoo, just all over the place. It doesn't have to be a ton of people. It can be just you and your parents going for a walk. But it's really just about raising the funds and encouraging people to get involved. People donating $20 here and there really adds up to a lot of money when you get a lot of people involved. So as far as prizes, here's an example. So Allie's prize, she won first place. She got 20 Higgy Bears, a $350 American Girl doll gift card, a $150 Higgy Bear gift card, giant Squishmallow, giant Higgy Bear, Higgy Squishy, tons of Higgy stickers. Brielle got the same. She got second place, just a little bit less of the amounts. Like I said, I give them for each level. So even if your kid only raises $100, they still get 10 stickers or whatever it may be this June. So I just gave away a ton of prizes to really motivate the kids and just make it fun. Higgy website is higgybears.com. A lot of you probably already know that because you're already here watching this. But I've redesigned it to have the different programs that I've talked about. I definitely recommend to check out the Higgy Resources tab. I'll be updating this as time goes on, but I have a really great Higgy Bears scoliosis support guide that I put together for you. It has tons of information about all the support groups, all the programs, all the Facebook support groups for parents and for kids that are available, grants to help cover the costs of the brace, clothing tips, brace shirt recommendations, brace bag recommendations, surgery tips, books that you can read, just all the information I've learned over the years, all in one guide for you. This is of course free to download on the resources tab. I also have Scoliosis Us on the resource tab. I really believe in their mission. The founder, Megan, is a good friend of mine and just is devoted to helping kids and teens. I definitely recommend to check out their website. It's www.bracingforscoliosis.org. She has a lot of great programs, but she has a lot of resources on her website too. So she's an actual orthotist out of Aligned Clinic. She's very, very knowledgeable, and she's bridging the gap between practitioners and patients. So she's really got like a one-stop shop for all the information you need on bracing, on surgery, on physical therapy, support groups. Just she's got everything there. So she's the main resource page to go to. She has two really awesome programs to highlight. She has a mentor program where she has teens that volunteer that are experienced with bracing or that have had surgery or do physical therapy, and they one-on-one mentor younger kids or teens just starting out. They do it through text or FaceTime or email or however the parents want them to connect. But this is a great one-on-one program that I highly recommend. She also has the Empower Hour, which is just starting, but I'm super excited about this. I think it's one of the most important things in the scoliosis world that's going to help kids, and that includes Higgy Bears. The way I explain this to people is it's fun group therapy for your kids and your teens. It's with a licensed counselor that is trained in everything scoliosis, and she meets with your kids along with several psychiatry doctoral students that run the groups, and they teach your kids how to help with their confidence with wearing a brace or recovering from surgery, being confident with your scar, that type of thing. They help you with stress and how to manage that, different techniques, just all the things that can help kids kind of thrive with their scoliosis journey. It's getting to know each other, but it's run by a counselor, like I said, so it's a really, really great program. I just can't say enough good things about this. Definitely check it out. It's at bracingforscoliosis.org. I do Higgy Webinars that I'm just getting started going with, but Dr. Adrian Lau, that I mentioned earlier, that came to Higgy Con, he did a talk about pain science, or about the science behind pain. That's really interesting. Check that out. Jonathan Taylor did one about the different types of braces and what makes each one unique. Jamie Haggard from Green Sun Medical talked about his whisper brace, which was really interesting. And then I'm just going to be adding more and more webinars to this as time goes on. They're all recorded, so you can watch them, whenever you're free. And there's a lot of great information. I just want to say thank you so much to all my Higgy sponsors that made this possible, that makes Higgy Bears possible. Two huge sponsors, Zimvi and Medtronic, thank you so much. Team at Global Spine Outreach, they're absolutely amazing and have told me that I'm part of their family. So they really support me, and I just love them and all that they do. Same with Spinal Technology and Shriners. Green Sun Medical, Eric and Jamie and the whole team there are amazing, and all these other wonderful sponsors. So thank you so much for watching this. I know I said it'd be about 30 minutes, and I guess I lied. It was an hour. So sorry about that, but hopefully it was worth it for you to watch. Um, I'm always adding new programs, and I'm glad you took time to listen and learn about the different programs that I have, because it's easy for me to think that a lot of you just see every single post that I put up and read every single email. But I know that's not necessarily the case. So I just wanted to sit down and share with you all the different things that I have. Email me anytime if you ever need anything. My email is lauren@higgybears.com. This is my life's work to help you and your kids. So if you're having problems or need support or have a question, anything, just reach out to me. I'm not a medical expert by any means, but I can usually point you in the right direction, or send you to a support group like Curvy Girls, or to my Higgy Zooms or the Higgy Teens group, or Bracing for Scoliosis. Like I can help. So just email me anytime and let me know what you're going through and if you need anything. So again, there's my email, lauren@higgybears.com, and I will be reopened on February 1st, and so you'll be able to start requesting your free Higgy Bears, and then also the hard braces will be available to order, as well as the spinal fusion bears will be available for free for kids and teens also. So thank you again for listening. Feel free to spread the word about Higgy Bears in support groups and with your doctors and clinicians. It's really important to let families know that the support is out there. So I would love your help, and that's what's helped Higgy Bears grow, is just word of mouth. So definitely be sure to let everybody know that you talk to that has scoliosis. So thank you again for taking the time to listen to me, and have a wonderful day.